Greetings, everybody. We are back around the table to continue our excited little look at the Brouwer.
That's a gentle way to put it.
Joe's chanting silently.
Silently chanting.
Brouwer.
Kalima.
Do you even know who designs it? Just for the record, you're so jacked up about this knife. Do you know the guy's name?
I don't know his name, but he's got an awesome touch mark.
I knew that.
Yeah.
It kind of looks like a butterfly, just for the record.
No,
it's a jack-o'-lantern face.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
From
Without the
focus.
pumpkins.
From the angle. Yeah.
Is it Jason Brouwer?
Okay, I see what's going on.
I feel bad that I don't know who it is, but
Yeah.
I dig that touch mark. It's pretty cool.
I'm just saying, yeah. Do your homework if you're going to get excited about a product. Come on.
like I said
Says
last,
the guy that didn't do his homework
Pretty
either.
much. But, I mean,
I'm not jacked up. Well,
you gave it the highest score.
no, I didn't.
no, I did by 1 point.
Okay, fair enough.
By one.
All the difference.
Yeah, well, B plus B. Yeah.
So yeah, let's talk about why we are excited and like this knife.
Where do we start?
It does
Go ahead,
so many
Joe.
things well.
Yeah.
Fit and finish is just fantastic.
Fit and finish is number one, but I almost think an argument to that is ergonomics because everyone on the table
Yes.
agrees that
Yep.
this knife fits damn good.
Oh, I'm breaking
simmer
things.
down.
Easy
Sonny.
there, Tiger.
Doesn't matter where the dot is if you throw shit around.
That's a good point. The fact that it fits not only with the finger choil but also without the finger choil for some of us.
Most of us.
Yeah, that's
actually.
fair.
Yeah, and getting up into the finger choil, it's on the comfy side of being just on the edge of my pinky hanging off, and going back into not in the choil, that's a comfy 3-finger grip for me.
Even there, it's comfortable.
It's
Yeah.
like the same as the Cebu type of thing,
yeah.
where it's comfortably 3 fingers
Mhm.
instead of awkwardly 3 fingers.
Yeah,
Right?
and
It was a good comparison size-wise.
yeah, and as far as my preference for the ergonomics, and part of why I wasn't very enthusiastic about this guy is just it seems like it would have a very pistol grippy sort of cant to it, even for how subtle it is. And when I'm back, I definitely get that feeling, but when I'm up in that finger choil, it's not. So that's
nice up
that's
there.
what bumped my enthusiasm up a lot. Is
And we all
not
like
having that
to
issue.
see Nigel that thinks that he's going to not like something and have himself surprised.
That is true.
Instead of
Actually hurting himself.
knowing he's not going to like something and
then
then cutting himself to prove it. Yeah.
Yeah.
He got us there.
suckers.
Showed them.
You proved your point, I guess.
But no, I agree. Like, I was in the same boat, and one of the reasons it was pleasantly surprising for me, other than the ergonomics, was the size.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I think we were all thinking slightly larger package than
Yes.
what came in,
Mhm.
and then we all giggle because I said slightly larger package.
Just slightly.
and came
But-
in.
Yeah.
No.
I wasn't giggling at that one until now.
Just hearing,
Victory.
hearing like air horns going off in the background after you said that. That was terrible.
I think we were all actually thinking like amalgam sized or
Yeah.
native
Yeah.
GPM2 sized into that stretched out
Like
kind of
not
whatever.
quite tenacious, but close, right? Like
Yeah.
the bigger.
Yeah.
Holy crap! Though this exceeded expectations. I didn't know we had.
Yeah.
Like-
I have expectations that I know exactly what I have, and they lived up to them.
I think there's only one spot where we all kind of universally went, it's okay, but I wish it was something else, would be the steel.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good old
It's-
S30.
And S30, there's nothing wrong with S30. Everybody out there, if you want this knife, it is a good knife.
Mhm.
But for the people out here that have fairly large collections,
Got it into
And-
the snobbery.
yeah, S30's everywhere.
Unfortunately, the reason why I won't buy one of these is because I already have like a Spyderco Smock with S30V and G10 with carbon fiber overlay.
Yeah.
But
Speaking of knives that don't exist, I mean, this knife in LMAX, and you're knocking it out of the park, right?
yeah.
Like but that's, again, something that's not,
XHP.
not that much more of a step up. And XHP with Spyderco knowing that they use it.
And
But
yeah,
again,
yeah.
it's a knife that doesn't exist. Unfortunately,
course.
this is the one that we get, and it's S30.
But you never know. Maybe sprint runs.
Yeah.
That would be cool. This would be a really cool knife.
Out of everything they've coming out with the last couple years, I don't see the Brouwer being a sprint run over
Definitely not.
Flashbacks,
But,
I mean,
maybe
how many-
we can influence another maker out there and say, hey, sprint runs.
As far as sprint runs for this year that they've done out of new stuff, I would have thought that the Smock over the Shaman would have been the first choice,
Yeah,
though. And
yeah.
there's the second Shaman coming, though.
Shaman was technically last year.
Oh, yeah, fair
Shaman
enough.
was
Yeah,
a 2018.
A little bit
So
more
we're
lead
gonna
up.
next
Yeah, lead up to it, and
Fair
they
enough.
got on the hype train because Shabazz got on the hype train.
Right.
Shout out Nick Shabazz.
Hell yeah. The only thing I'm going to say is next year, Silver Twill, Smog. Just do it.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
would be
sexy
pretty.
as hell. Speaking of knives that don't exist.
Yeah.
Things I didn't know I needed. Damn it.
We dabbled on it a little bit in the previous video, talking about just the fit and finish of this knife.
Yeah.
But there's something that Joe mentioned to me that might literally be my favorite thing about this knife. And it's the fact that they chamfered the back half of this hole so you can flick the knife really comfortably.
Did they change for the front half?
But it's sharp on the front, so you get good
Really?
grip on the front of it. Yeah. So where you need a soft break on the edge, it's there, but you have a nice sharp front. So if you want to get some traction,
They
You can.
straight up. They did. They half hole chamfered
Yeah.
this knife.
it was
Yeah.
clearly a feature, not a bug.
I kind of lost it at that point. I'm like,
The-
that's just so cool.
They only reamed half the hole.
I'm not
I
gonna
might
respond.
change my score after that, but like it's too late now. We're in the Friday episode.
Yeah.
My
Yeah,
question is, did they chamfer the hole and then do the flat grind, and then just cut through that chamfer? Because
You bet
Yeah,
they did.
It's gotta be
You bet they
easier to
flat.
do it.
That's exactly what they did because this is ground down lower, so they would finish the high parts first and then get into the low parts after that.
And a chamfer is such a light touch.
Bravo,
Yeah.
Spyderco. Bravo.
Yeah.
Jeez, man. Yeah.
Yeah. Again, my enthusiasm's at a 9 for this knife for a reason.
Tai Chung, again,
As
always.
usual.
Okay. Yeah.
Keeping it awesome.
Knocking it out of the park. Whoever says Golden Colorado could suck it. Straight up.
Out of the parking lot.
Yeah.
That thing's awesome.
You flip the knife over for a second, and we're gonna have to dabble and talk about it.
We gotta talk about it.
Let's go pocket clip, boys.
Yeah.
We gotta
Yeah.
talk pocket clip.
Which one? Which orientation are we talking about? Are we talking about this orientation or the different orientation for the other side of the knife?
So as you can see by the placement of the screws there, on the titanium side, it is tucked up very high and onto the finger choil side. On the G10 side, it is lower down and more centered for the screw placement.
They still have them nicely angled to keep off the lock bar on the titanium side and to keep off the cutout here on the G10 side.
They're beautifully placed.
Yes.
They are.
It is
But it's
intentional.
weird
It
that
is
they're different.
They
Yeah.
are not symmetrical. Yeah.
Being a righty, I'm never going to put the pocket clip on the left-hand side of this knife, so it's not going to ever affect me. It bothers me, and just like I wish they were the same, but I
Yeah.
understand why they made them different.
Yeah, if we could get an image of Nigel twitching,
I twitch forever.
Neil Patrick Harris with his twitch, yeah, that's what he's doing right now
Yeah.
with the 3 holes. But
Not only are the scales mismatched because one's titanium, one's G10, but then it's even further mismatched because they did the holes different. Like,
they did the hole smart, just like they did the round
yeah,
hole smart.
I will admit to that.
Yeah, it might not be even, but they thought about it.
Yeah,
before
it's
they
definitely
placed those
a
holes.
feature again, and not
How
a
many
bug.
knives do you know of that you put it on the left-hand side and all of a sudden it does inhibit a lock bar or
Yeah.
something like that because the companies
Yeah.
don't think about it,
This is true.
right?
Speaking of creature comforts, these little milled pockets.
We talked about that in the
On a
previous
lock
video.
bar insert,
Yes.
not even on this titanium frame.
Like
Yeah.
we were talking about on the Kapara video.
Yeah.
It's less necessary in my opinion on a frame lock, but the fact that they did it anyway and made it
It's nice.
so cool looking and so comfortable, that's just so nice.
That's the right way to do jimping on the inside of lock bar too.
Mhm.
Yes.
Not like aggressive jimping or anything else like
Just
that.
enough to catch your
Little
thumb.
scallop.
Yeah.
Although with the whole cutout, you've got no shortage of traction to
No,
get on there.
No,
in the
but
first
it's
place.
a nice
But it's
touch.
still a nice add-on.
Right.
And as I deploy that knife, another thing we should talk about is the D10.
Mhm.
The D10 is dialed on
Yeah.
this thing.
Yeah, it is super, super
For
awesome.
boys who like to flick open or even thumb stud flick open, left or right hand orientation.
Or drop shot, or like it's super drop shotty.
And I
Well, yeah, and that's
Yeah.
on the smoothness of it. But the D10 is a lot of thing a lot of
I don't think
companies
that's a word.
can't what
Drop shotty.
drop
Yeah.
shutty. Oh, it's been used too many
Yeah.
times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're not the only ones.
But the D10 itself, like, smoothness we dabbled on,
It's
but
crisp,
how many
but it's not
companies
overbearing.
are inconsistent or too sloppy? You bet, man. Where's that rook you were playing with earlier? It's like, as far as inconsistent D10s. But
a little bit
I'm just saying, this thing is
dialed.
perfect. It's perfect.
And both of the ones that I've played with have been exactly like that too.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And as far as the dialed-in aspect, not only the detent, but the grind lines, the centering, it's just such a well-made knife.
Well, this goes back to what you should be known for Spyderco. Now, they have slipped, and there's some factories. The Seki Japan factory is having a little
with their edge a little bit.
Now. Yeah, and they're centering, scraping against the inside of the Zytel handles on Delicas and stuff like that type of thing.
Yeah.
Right?
I saw one of the sprint run shamans recently with a messed up
sprint run,
edge,
and that's an American made.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Taichung's still known for what they're doing, and the people who know type of maybe that's why Spyderco's slogan is, what is it, for those who know, or something like that.
In brackets, Taiwan.
Yeah, exactly. That's what they
That's why I
mean.
like my BPT.
Yeah.
That's the secret.
Just chamfering. I'm gonna go back to chamfering just super briefly.
Even before you do that, I gotta slag a little bit.
Sure.
Spoon clip instead of wire clip. What the hell, guys?
Yeah, would have been nice to see a wire
clip, guys. That's the way to do titanium from now on. Wire clip, and you'll
just do it.
Yeah, you'll make everyone happy. Yes, even the clip is chamfered and rounded and smooth to slip in, but it's still a spoon.
The screw holes are all nicely chamfered. And at first I thought, well, why didn't they do it to the G10? But then I think, well, the G10's got some more grip. That would be kind of weird to have a little smooth spot on the screws.
Yeah, you almost don't even notice it because of the aggressive nature of the G10.
The attention to detail on this thing is just insane. And it's not a crazily priced Spyderco either.
Not crazy for Spyderco.
It's still expensive.
It's not a cheap Spyderco.
It's 260 Canadian.
Okay.
Give or take.
No one has one on the table right now, but we were talking before recording. $20 more gets you a Super Freak.
Yeah.
Oh, we do have one on the table. Look at that. So
M4.
Let's have a quick chat about what fit and finish and beauty is worth compared to materials and what you're getting for.
And pretty damn good fit and finish.
Not bad. Yeah. I was pretty happy with my Super Freak, for sure.
Yeah.
Now, if you don't have any size constraints, I can definitely see that argument. But if you're looking for a smaller knife and you want that detail and that fit and finish, there's a give and take.
Nice option for sure.
Yeah.
Not knocking the Super Freak at all. It's a fantastic thing.
And I can agree with you there, where if you are looking for a very gentlemanly, slim, very cool knife, this is definitely an awesome option.
Definitely nice little office knife.
Yep. Even for me, it's very reminiscent with the blade shape of like a Kephart Skinner. And especially getting up into that finger choil and with the jimping there, I would skin with this guy.
Now, ball bearings for the pivot, unless I'm wrong on that.
I don't remember.
I thought bronze. I thought straight
with
bronze.
How drop sheddy that is?
I don't know. Yeah, I can see ball bearings.
I'm seeing bearings, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, as soon as you closed that, I saw the glint of bearings. Yeah. So
that would be the reason not to skin with it, though.
You bet. Yeah, the gunkiness. Yeah. Or don't be afraid to take your knives and clean them. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, Spyderco stopped using so much Loctite specifically for that.
They relaxed their policy a little bit.
A little bit. We got to talk about just how nice and sharp that knife is, and just, I mean, Spyderco is full flat. How do you go wrong?
Cutting ability.
Yeah,
for sure.
It is very slicey.
Super slicey.
It's not a stupid thick blade stock to begin with. It's reasonable for, I think, the size.
The one thing I wanted to dabble on, and we talked about it briefly in the Tuesday video, is the inconsistency of price points Spyderco is throwing at people.
Yeah.
And how you can justify a PM2 with S110 for a lower price point than what you're offering this. You're telling me that the
titanium is the only difference.
Yeah, you're telling me.
The stainless steel lock insert, the ball bearings.
You bet, all of the factors involved. But when it comes to steel choices, there is some crazy all over the map pricing when it comes to Spyderco.
Some
a $300 price point Canadian for VG10 is not acceptable.
No.
And true, they pull that still.
this knife in S90 or S110 would be pretty cool. Too.
Yeah, I'm still on the LX train.
I agree with you.
It's sexy as hell, and the mirror polished edge you can put on this. But again, Nigel exists.
Yeah.
For me, it's the steels that do exist that boggles my mind on how you can price. One is one,
Yeah.
and this is the other, and you don't have this makes sense across the board price guide.
That is
Yeah.
definitely a Spyderco problem, I think, is the inconsistency. At least with Benchmade, you know it's going to be somewhat consistent with the high price points with some of the items.
Every once in a while they surprise you, but as a general rule, you know that you're going to overpay. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, pick your battles. If this is a design that you love and it feels amazing in hand, it might be worth a slightly inflated price, right?
We just had a giant slab of 4V fixed blades come into the shop
Holy.
at a price point that's not absurd.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Really nice for their fixed blades, actually.
Absolutely phenomenal. So again,
Killer
like
design,
folding
yeah.
versus fixed, price points with blade steels, ball bearings, G10 titaniums. I'd love to see some sort of that makes sense
For sure.
line, and they don't have one right now.
I wonder how much of that is tied up with licensing fees and designer fees, and who knows what the deals are.
Well, they're not paying Ken Onion. So, I mean, he's the one guy not on their payroll right
guess.
now
Yeah.
as far as taking a chunk out of the pie.
But yeah, as we kind of debate and figure out who and why Spyderco is charging that much and who they're paying out and stuff like that, we'll lament on that until next week, probably.
Yeah. Overall, I'd say this knife is absolutely phenomenal. Everyone's on the Brouwer train.
Check it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get out there and get one in hand and see exactly why we like it so much.
Didn't think I'd like it this much. but-
Yeah.
And honestly, one look's not enough. Spending some time with it definitely made us appreciate it for everything from a half-hole chamfer. Jesus Christ. Anyway, and all sorts of crazy stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's worth taking a look at, or a second look, or a third look until you start to fall in love with it like we have.
hmm So yeah, once again, big giant thank out to the Cutting Edge.
Hashtag thank out.
Yep, it's very appreciated that you guys let us play with the toys.
Yeah, and this was a cool option to play with.
Absolutely.
So we do have our Patreon account set up. Hopefully soon we'll be able to offer you some sort of incentive to pay for the Patreon. But right now we just want to be able to give you better quality videos, whether it's equipment, whether it's new knives to review, that type of thing. And hopefully we'll grow it as a channel and it'll be worth your while to be early on subscribers.
Definitely. Also, follow us over at Instagram, the Pokey Factor. Get the behind the scenes and the shenanigans that kind of happen during filming and in between filming, even.
Indeed, indeed. So yeah, that being that, this is Nigel the Smith signing off.
I am who I am. I'm Dennis Vipers.
I am the Iron Joe.
On XL.ca.
We will catch you again next time.